Today we are in Wudangshan, where we are going to start a tour to learn about the history of Taoism, Kung Fu, and Tai Chi. And our tour begins at the Yushu Palace, which is one of the most important places for Taoism and one of the places where Tai Chi originated. In fact, in the courtyard of this famous imperial palace, there are many people practicing martial arts, especially Tai Chi. But besides the locals, there are many people from all over the world who come here to develop their Tao. And my intention is to talk with some of them throughout the day. Now we're arriving at the main area of the palace. It's beautiful, and you can also feel an extraordinary sense of calm in this place. The guide said life moves much slower here than elsewhere. But that's precisely what many people come looking for in this beautiful place. The peace that you can't have in big cities, especially with the fast-paced lifestyle in China, because the rapid growth this country has experienced has had consequences. A lot of people feel stressed, and it's not unusual for them to want to find a place that gives them peace, a space to relax, and where they can connect with nature. And both Tai Chi and Qigong, which have their origins in this place, are the perfect tools to return to that center of tranquility that we should naturally have. Apparently in this place, people who practice Tai Chi live many more years than the average person. And the guide just told us that in her childhood she got to know a lady who lived more than 160 years. And according to the locals, the reason why she lived so long and in good health was largely thanks to her almost religious practice of Tai Chi.
I was born in 1989 and she died in 2003, so when I was in elementary school, the students accepted it. After turning 110, she grew new black hair and gained a new chi. Wow! Her skin is very soft and smooth, and her hands look really nice too.
Every day she dedicated 3 hours to it, and she always carried a small stick in her hands that she was constantly spinning. I don't know how that helps, but the guide said that was one of the main reasons why she lived so long. And while there may have been other factors, I definitely believe it's possible to maintain and even extend our quality of life if we really dedicate ourselves to taking care of our bodies consciously. Are you Tai Chi masters?
Yes, that's right.
How many years have you been practicing Tai Chi?
I've been practicing for about 30 years.
Wow, 30 years. Are you from around here? It seems like all the locals are trained. How did you learn?
I had a teacher who taught me Tai Chi.
What exactly is Tai Chi?
Tai Chi is a wushu martial art and a form of Qigong, Qigong.
Is it seen as a sport or more of an art form?
Yes, it includes everything. Everything meaning it includes philosophy, balance, strength, and also art. I mean, it's something very complete.
And what benefits does it have for the body?
This can translate into multiple benefits, but I could basically say it boosts your defenses and strengthens your immune system.
There are many masters of Tai Chi. Do you know Tai Chi?
Just a little, I'm not an expert.
Don't they teach you that in elementary school?
Yes, they taught me when I was little for 5 years.
So with 5 years, then you could say that all Chinese people know a little.
Yes, that's right.
Something I've always admired about this country is the endless number of activities available for people of all ages. Because you don't have to come all the way to Wudangshan to see people doing Tai Chi or practicing meditation, playing mahjong, but this happens all over the country. And although people come to this palace to practice martial arts, Tai Chi or Qigong, even in the city where I live, Shenzhen, which is a city with a pretty fast pace where you would think people don't even have time to go to the bathroom, all the parks there are crowded with people doing these activities. In fact, in the building where Noelia and I live, there are a lot of grandmothers who go out to dance every night, and I find that fascinating. Because these are healthy activities that keep you young both physically and spiritually, and that's because they let you exercise your body while socializing and give you a sense of progress. But tell me, what is it like in your cities? I know that not all places are the same and that it might have been a specific situation in the place where I lived. However, there is no doubt that this is quality of life. Now let's get to know a Tai Chi school, or a Wushu school, or a Kung Fu school. But as soon as we got off the bus, I was shocked. Bo, do you know how to do Wushu?
Oh, no. In Korea, we do Taekwondo.
Ah, that's right. In Korea, it's Taekwondo. Oh, I see. Do you know Taekwondo? Do you guys practice Wushu too, or is it Tai Chi?
Tai Chi Chuan.
Tai Chi Chuan, yes.
Right, this isn't Thai.
It's not Taichuan, it's very different. What an impression! A kung fu school. This is the first time I visited one. I imagine these are the students' classrooms, and there must be dormitories too, because people come from all over the country to learn. We just saw a performance that gave me goosebumps. It's just incredible. The things the human body can do, the positions it can take, and the energy you can feel in the people. Especially the little girl doing kung fu. Did you see her? That's her. Hi, little sister. How old are you?
Hello, I'm a boy.
Oh, I saw it, but from afar I didn't notice. You're a boy. How old are you?
I'm 10 years old.
10 years old? You're amazing. How long have you been here learning?
This is my 3rd year.
High five, buddy.
Wow, he was a man. Now I feel really guilty because I said, hey little girl, how long have you been studying?
He said, I'm a man, and I replied, oh sorry, it's just that everyone has long hair. I love that all over the school there are students practicing, they're all over the campus, and I feel embarrassed because I feel like we're interrupting their activities. Anyway, they expected us and knew we were coming. Talking with the teacher, I found out that there are 2 types of Kung Fu. The one practiced in the Shaolin temples or Shaolin Kung Fu, and the one practiced here, which is Wudang Kung Fu. Is this Tai Chi or Wushu?
Both. It has elements of both.
Is it a blend of Wushu and Tai Chi?
Tai Chi is a type of wushu, so they're related. We mainly practice Tai Chi here, but also other disciplines.
And how did you get into martial arts?
Inspired by Jackie Chan and Bruce Lee movies, I first joined a Shaolin temple. I was there for 3 years, but it wasn't exactly what I wanted, so I came here afterward.
And what's the difference between the Kung Fu here and Shaolin?
Is Shaolin more extreme? It's more intense and focuses on physical practice, but here we do more internal practice. You cultivate yourself through practice, and it's then done in a gentler way. So there's no age limit, it's suitable for any age. For older people, going to a Shaolin temple might be too much.
So it's like a kind of moving meditation, right?
Yes, if you mean Tai Chi, but it depends on your goals. For some, it's physical exercise. For others, mental. You could even call it a meditative sport. So it depends on how you approach it. That's the part you'll develop. Everything you just saw in the show, we teach here. There are many types of movements, both fast and slow.
And now it looks like we're going to practice the internal part of martial arts, and that's why we're in the meditation room. I wanted to ask you, how old were you when you started practicing this, and should we call it Kung Fu? Or should we call it Wushu? Or call it...
Wushu and Kung Fu are the same thing. I started at 7 years old, and after middle school I began to learn professionally.
What was your first contact with Wushu?
It was in my hometown. There was an old master who taught traditional ancient Kung Fu. Also, my father.
And then you said that when you were in high school you became a professional. What does that mean? How does this become your profession?
Because I dropped out of school. Well, and because I had seen Kung Fu movies and I went to a Shaolin temple.
Did you leave school for a Shaolin temple?
Yes, when I turned 23 I arrived here. Since I arrived I could feel the internal training. When you train with your physical body, you can get injured. If your skills aren't good, you can hurt yourself and you need tools to heal. You can do it through meditation and Qigong. Open the body's meridians. Open the body's meridians. Move the Qi or energy channels along with the blood to release your energy blockages. When I started meditating, I noticed that my muscles relaxed. Even after 30 years, I still remember how good it felt.
You started your career professionally at a very young age, right in your 20s? But what about regular people who didn't know about Kung Fu or Wushu? If they want to start at 30 or 40, is there still time or is it too late?
Age 60 is still young. As an ancient Chinese person said, a human being should live up to 120 years, but now people don't even reach 100 years. That's why we need to cultivate the body, to have a good quality of life, to feel comfortable in your heart, and to enjoy your life. You could now live much longer.
Thank you very much, teacher. It's a pleasure.
You're welcome.
Thank you very well. Hello, nice to meet you. Max and Noelia.
I'm Ian. Nice to meet you.
Where are you from, Ian?
I'm from Portland, Oregon.
You're a student here, right?
That's right. Right now I'm studying here for 30 days. And in 2013, I studied here for 2 months.
And what brought you here in the first place?
So I'm a circus clown.
You're a circus clown. That's an interesting story.
The types of performances I do, Tai Chi and other disciplines like Qi Kung, both are very good for my health, but also to improve my agility and my motor skills, to get better at the circus.
How has it helped you in your life?
The idea of wanting to live a healthy life and in optimal conditions in every way and in every possible area. The teacher said that even at 60 years old, you're still young. My grandmother was 87 and she had a lot of mobility problems. But we practiced some movements and techniques together, even while she was sitting, and it really helped her mobility a lot. The idea that as we get older, we also become slower, but you can also keep moving. And the idea of moving or circulating is what pushes you forward. When you get stuck, that's when everything ends.
What does a typical day in your life look like here?
At 6 a.m., Qigong, 7:30 breakfast, 8:30 the first session until 11:40 when I have lunch. Then in the afternoon, a short break, followed by classes, then dinner, and a night of meditation. And then I do my own secondary meditation for my personal practice. And then I try to go to sleep before 10 because I get up again around 5:30.
Thank you very much. Nice to meet you, Yin. Hey, do you want your Instagram?
Yes, it's that clown in the gym on Instagram.
I'm going to put it here. Thank you, Yin. Because he was in a hurry because he wants to go eat. But as you could see, there are many foreigners studying here and you could do it too. I'm going to put the details of the school down here and just look at the school. Imagine coming here to spend a summer studying meditation, studying Tai Chi, studying music. And that's one of the things I like most about this school. Because you don't just come here to practice external martial arts, but also internal ones. And that is done through meditation, but also through music. And that's why many students here take Guqin classes, which is one of the most complex, traditional Chinese instruments, but produces a melody worthy of an emperor. And if you come here, you'll also have the opportunity to practice this and many other instruments that at the same time help you understand the local culture. And that's the real way to travel. I've always thought that tourism without prior knowledge of the place you're about to visit, or without really immersing yourself in the culture, doesn't make much sense. The tour around the school has been a really nice experience because we had the opportunity to take meditation classes, Tai Chi, and also music. And that's because this is not just a Tai Chi school, but a school of good living. In fact, when I asked the teachers if martial arts help you live longer, they answered, it's not about extending your life, it's about having quality of life. Because nowadays there are many people who can extend their lives thanks to modern medicine, but they live in deplorable conditions with health problems, with stress, they can't sleep, they feel uncomfortable, they live with pain. And that's something that in my 30s I've already had to experience. As I've mentioned in previous videos, I live with chronic back pain that I've been trying to solve over the past few months. However, with the rest of the life one leads, with daily tasks and the demands of society, it's hard to take action and do what one should be doing, which is exercising, meditating to calm the mind, eating well, making connections with other people, and feeding the mind with positive content. In places like these, that's what they learn. Now we are at the Wudangshan Tourist Center. From here, we're going to take a small bus that will drive for an hour to get us closer to the base, and from there we'll take a cable car to reach the top. Because the regular hike would take about 8 or 9 hours to climb and we don't have that much time. But as the guide said, to reach an extraordinary place, you have to get away from society. Because that's what the warriors and monks wanted. A remote place where they could relax, where they could connect with the sacred. And that's exactly where we're going to go today. I always find it curious how there's a McDonald's in the most sacred places in China. It's like being in the Forbidden City with a McDonald's, Starbucks, and Kentucky Fried Chicken right next door. Even atop China's most sacred mountains like Wudangshan, you'll find a Kentucky Fried Chicken. Here's the McDonald's, and what's this? Look, the French fries have a message. We already have our tickets. They cost 140 yuan, but I think this doesn't include the cable car. Yes, keep your ticket safe, because with it you can enter the mountain 3 times. And for many people, the more time they spend here, the better, because remember that this is a spiritual center considered healing in the local culture. We're going to have to take this bus for 45 minutes to get to the top. How's it going, brother? Yeah, high five, man. Let's go, come on. Hey, we're arriving at the base of the cable car. From here, it's going to be about another 10 minutes to the top. And normally we do it with amazing views, but today it's a bit cloudy. So I don't know how much we're going to see, but still, I think it's going to be a really nice trip. What does it say there? Can you read it? Wudang Mountain Cable Car. What about the ones down there? Can you read them? I guess that laugh means no, right? Normally, in entrances like these, there are inscriptions with characters, and many times they're more handmade. I asked the girl with us if she could read it, but she said no. That's why, when asked if Chinese is difficult, I say it's so hard even native speakers often don't understand it. And this is the perfect example of that. Here's the ticket office. Let's see how much the cable car ticket costs. Because our original ticket of 140 something yuan doesn't include the cable car. What do you think of this ticket office? It's impressive. It looks like a small imperial palace. Here are the cable car prices. The round trip costs 150, but many people buy the 80 yuan ticket, which is only for going up, and they walk down. If you're in good shape and have time, it's recommended. I think this is like the 10th cable car we've taken in the last 6 months, but I love it. Aren't you scared? More or less. I get on the cable car all the time. Clearly you do, haha. When do you use the cable car often? To go home. No. Do you live on top of the mountain? Something like that. I live in Chongqing. Well, we've arrived. Let's see how this mountain is. On the way, the girl who was with us was telling us that China has 5 very famous mountains and that this is one of them. But the saying goes that after having gone to the Yellow Mountain, which is Wudangshan, no other will seem impressive enough to you. But today is all about Wudangshan, which is this one. It's curious that once you get off the cable car, they sell lottery tickets. But even though it might seem very strange, there's actually a pretty simple explanation. Remember that we're on one of the most sacred mountains in this country. A mountain where people come to recharge with good energy and good wishes. So it wouldn't be strange for people to think they might have more luck here and buy lottery tickets more often. But if they do it, why shouldn't we? Maybe we'll end up winning the grand prize. Which are you buying, brother? This one? And you, which one did you buy? It's the same one. Which one is the best? Is it this one? That's what she suggested, haha. Alright, I'll do the same. How much is that ticket? Okay, it's 20 each. Give me 2. Has anyone from here ever won? Yes, of course. What was the biggest prize? 10,000 yuan. 10,000? Seriously? That's false. It was over 200,000 yuan. Wow. Look, someone won 221,000 yuan here. Here's the plaque showing that this is a very lucky spot. Let's see, maybe... Oh. Wow. Whoa.
Almost there, but you have nothing.
I tell him, ooh, I'm not lucky since I'm not Chinese, and he replies, no, you just left your bad vibes here and purified yourself. Let's see, he won 20, thank you, at least he got his money back. I'm renting an exoskeleton since my foot hurts, so we'll need help going up. Are you going to rent me this thing for 35 yuan for 2 hours? It says there that if it doesn't work, they'll give you your money back. It has 15 power levels. Let's see, we're at level 9. Wow. Look, how curious. Now anyone can go up the mountains. Honestly, it helps, but not as much as you would expect. Actually, it's pretty heavy. Look, this thing costs 7,000 yuan online. They're expensive. I don't know if the one I'm using costs that much, but they're expensive and you can rent them for 35 yuan for 2 hours. Honestly, I don't think that's too much. Wow, look, this is the first temple and there's a Taoist monk with his phone. This is China nowadays. Something surreal. Amazing ancient temples, a lot of millennia-old culture, and technology everywhere. How are you, Yantel? How's it going?
All good, it's nothing.
Very good. Perfect.
I can't breathe.
Well, look at my teammates. They can't continue. If you ask me, it's really worth it for the time you save because you don't stop to rest. Look, we climbed all this with our exoskeleton starting from the cable car down there, and honestly I'm not tired and my legs don't hurt. I had a foot injury, so I decided to rent it, and it was worth it, especially since we still have to go back down. And that's where your calves really burn? At the top, as usual, there are many locks. What surprises me is that there aren't the classic wish ribbons that people usually hang. Observe modern China. People praying, drones flying, exoskeletons in use, and bloggers filming. Welcome to China 2025. Now, we bowed when we arrived here at the temple, but with us is a Russian girl who said she can't do it anymore out of respect for her religion. What religion is in Russia? Orthodox?
Orthodox Christians.
Orthodox, and can they bow?
No, they're different religions, bro.
So don't bow?
Uh-huh, that's right.
In my case, I already did it.
Okay, but you don't have religious, do you?
Well, yes, actually I'm a baptized Catholic, but it's okay.
Well, if you don't go to church and you don't practice your religion, I guess it's okay.
So you can't?
No, I definitely can't.
They just gave me some fruit.
Oh, no.
Do you want?
No, thank you, haha.
See, I'm telling you, since they're Orthodox and churchgoers, they can't do it, right? You can't do it?
No.
No, God forbid.
See, the Russians say not even as a joke, why can't they? I think it's normal.
If I do it, it will impact my future and influence me.
He says he's afraid it will influence his future if he bows. And I think any Catholic or Christian who truly practices their religion would avoid this.
So the first thing they give you in Chinese, we call it mokungwa. It's a kind of offering to the gods. This fruit is called offering fruit.
After 2 or 3 days, the monk gives the fruit back to the people.
The fruit given to visitors has the meaning of protecting you and giving you health.
These are the offerings that people have made, but eventually, after a certain amount of time, the Taoist priest has to remove the fruit so it doesn't rot, and then he gives it back to the villagers. And if the priest gives it to you, it means blessings for you, so it has a very good meaning. I won't be able to see the sunset because my flight is today at 8:20, so we have to rush out. At least he received a gift from the Taoist priest, and with this spectacular sunset, our trip through Yuve province comes to an end. It has been one of my favorites in recent years, and I hope you all enjoyed it too. But for now, I'll see you in the next video, live stream or short. Sending you a big hug and see you next time.